Dear students, welcome to another video tutorial of operating system, and today's topic is Banker's algorithm. Myself Niladri Shekhar Pal, I am working as an assistant professor at Computer Science and Engineering Department at Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management. So what is basically Banker's algorithm? Banker's algorithm basically an algorithm which is used to detect the deadlock of a system. Okay, so it is basically a deadlock avoidance algorithm. It is named so because this algorithm is used in banking system, okay, to determine whether a loan can be granted or not. Okay, so this algorithm basically named as Banker's algorithm because this algorithm or this concept has been used in banking system, okay, to check whether any customer is eligible for loan or not. Okay, so whenever a new process is created, it must specify the maximum instances of each resource type that it needs exactly. Okay? So when a process is created, it also must specify how much resources, okay, it's required to execute that particular process. Let us assume that there are n processes and m more resource types. Okay, so some data structure that are used to implement the banker's algorithm are: number one is available matrix. Okay, so it is an array of length n. It represents the number of available resources of each type. Okay, if available within bracket j equals to k, then there are k instances available of resource type rj. Okay, so the length in case of available matrix is basically used to check with how many resources, okay, are available, okay, to execute all the processes. That means that how many resources are available in the system. Okay, what is max? Max is basically maximum amount of instances of each resource that a process can request. If max ij equals to k, then the process pi is currently allocated k instances of resources type of rj. Okay, and what is allocation? It is an n cross m matrix, okay, which represents the number of resources of each type currently allocated to each process. If allocation ij equals to k, then the process is pi is currently allocated k instances of resources of type rj. Okay, and what is need matrix? It is basically max minus allocation. So it is an n into m matrix which indicates the remaining resources, okay, that is need for each process. If need ij equals to k, then process pi may need k more instances of resource type rj to complete its task. Okay. So what is resource request algorithm? Basically, this algorithm describes the behavior of the system when a process makes a resource request in the form of a request matrix. The steps are: number one is if the number of requested instances of each resource is less than the need, okay, which was declared previously by the process, you have to go to the step 2. If number of requested instances of each resource type is less than the available resources of each type, go to step 3. Okay. If not, the process has to wait because sufficient resources are not available yet. Now assume that the resources have been allocated. Accordingly do available matrix. What is the available? Available minus request t. Okay. So allocation I equals to allocation I plus request I. So need I equals to need minus request. Okay. And what is available? Available equals to available minus request, and allocation equals to allocation plus request. Okay. And need is need minus request. So this step is done basically because the system needs to assume that the resources have been allocated. So there will be less resources available after allocation. Okay. So the number of allocated instances will be increased. The need of the resources by the process will reduce. After completing the above steps, check if the system is in safe state or not, okay, by applying the safety algorithm. If it is in the safe state, proceed to allocate the requested resource, else the process has to wait longer. Okay, so now we will do few problems on Banker's algorithm. So before proceed the Banker's problem on Banker's algorithm, I will once again do the or recapitulate the algorithm. Okay. So what is Banker's algorithm? It is basically used in a deadlock avoidance algorithm. It is named so because this algorithm is used in banking system, okay, to determine whether loan can be granted or not. Whenever a new process is created, it must specify the maximum instances of each resource type, okay, that it needs exactly. Let us assume that there are n processes and m resource type, okay. So some data resources that are used to implement the Banker's algorithm is available. It is an array of length n, okay. It represents the number of available resources of each type. If available j equals to k, okay, so the available j is equal to the k, then we can say that there are k instance variable, okay, of resource type rj. If next come max, it is an n cross m matrix, okay, which represents the number of instances of each resource that a process can request. If max ij is equal to k, then we can say that the process pi is currently allocated k instances of resources of type r. Now allocation. It is an n cross m matrix, okay, which represents the number of resources of each type currently allocated to each process. If allocation ij equals to k, then the process pi is currently allocated k instances of resources type rj. Need matrix. It is an n cross m matrix which indicates the remaining resources that needs to each process. If need ij equals to k, then we can say that the pi may need k more instances of resource type rj, okay, to complete its task. So what is the resource request algorithm? This describes the behavior of the system when a process makes a resource request in the form of a request matrix. The steps are: if number of requested instances of each request resource is less than the need, okay, then go to step 2. If number of requested instances of each resource type is less than the available resource of each type, go to step 3. If not, the process has to wait because sufficient resources are not available yet. Now assumes that the resources have been allocated accordingly to available is available minus request t, allocation will be allocation plus request, and need I equals to need minus request. Okay. So this step is done because the system needs to assume that the resources have been allocated. So there will be less resources available after allocation. The number of allocated instances will increase. The need of the resources by the process will reduce. And after completing the above 3 steps, check the system is in safe state or not, okay, by applying the safety algorithm. If it is in safe state, proceed further to allocate the request resources, else the process has to wait longer. Now we'll do the Banker's algorithm problem, okay. So you can see that there is a problem of Banker's algorithm. This is very important Banker's algorithm. In your semester exhibition, you will definitely get a problem on Banker's algorithm. So what is the problem? Considering a system with 5 processes, as you can see there are 5 processes from P0 to P. Okay, with P4 and 3 resources of type A, B, C. Okay, so A has 10 instances, B have 5 instances, and type C has 7 instances. Suppose at time t0 the following snapshot has been taken. Okay, so this is the allocation. Okay, this means that p0 is currently holding 1b, 0a, 0c. p1 currently hold 2a, 0b, 0c. p2 currently hold 3a, 0b, and 2c. p3 holds 2a, 1b, 1c, and p4 holds 0a, 0b, and 2c. And these are the maximum. Okay, max means the maximum number of resources that can be stored by the processes, and these are the available matrix. That means available resources that are available in the system. So what we have to find? We have to find what is the content of need matrix. So we have to find out the need matrix, okay, and we have to check whether the system is in safe state or not, and we have also have to find out what is the safe sequence. That means in which order, if all the processes executes, then the system will not be in the deadlock state. Okay, so in which order, if all the process executes, it will be in the safe sequence. Okay, so first find out the need matrix. Okay? So first we'll find out the need matrix. Okay, so what will be the need matrix? Let's draw a table, okay, of the need matrix. This P4 of the 5 choices 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we have taken 6. P0, this is P1, this is P2, this is P3, and this is P4. Okay, and these are the resources, that is A, B, and C. Okay, so what is the formula for need matrix? The formula for need matrix is max minus allocation. Okay, so what we have to do? We will minus subtract the values of max minus allocation. Okay, so in case of P1, what will be the A resource? Here you can see that A is 7 and here is 0, so 7 minus 0. Okay, so here will be 7 minus 0 equal to 7. Okay. For B it will be 5 minus 1 equals to 5. Okay, and in case of C it will be 3 minus of 0. Okay, it will be 3. Next come to the P1. Okay, in case of P1 it will be 3 minus of 2, that is 1. Okay, and for B it will be 2 minus of 0. Okay, and for C it will be again 2 minus 0. Will be 2. Okay, now come to the P2. So in case of P2, at first for A will be 9 minus 3. Okay, that is 6. Then B is 0 minus 0, will be again 0. Okay, and for C it will be 2 minus 2, 2 minus 2, which is equals to 0. Now come to the P4, P3, sorry. P3 at first for A it will be 2 minus 2, this is 0. For B resource it will be 2 minus of 1. Okay, so this is 1. And for C resource at P3 it will be again 2 minus 1 is equals to 1. Okay, so in case P4 it will be 4 minus of 0, that is equal to 4. Okay, so for B it will be 3 minus of 0, which is equal to 3, and here it will be 3 minus 2 equals to 1. Okay, so this is the need matrix. Okay, so let's write once again the need matrix. I'm just copying the table. Okay, so this is the need matrix. Okay, now we have to check This is the answer of part 1, that is question number 1. So now we have to check whether it is in safe state or not. Okay. So as you can see that P0 basically required 753. Okay. If we copy it, I am copying the table again, copy the table, pasting it here. Okay. So I am just deleting it, these values. Okay, it will be easier for you. Okay. So we have redraw the need matrix. Okay, it will be help us for doing the sum. Okay. So I am deleting this table. Okay, I am deleting this one. Okay. So as you can see that P0 required 753, P1 required 122, P2 required 600. Okay, P3 required 011, P4 required 431. Okay. So this is the need matrix. So question number 1 has been solved. Now we'll do the question number 2. Okay. So as you can see that our available matrix is 332, and this need matrix means these are the elements which are required to execute all these processes. Okay. So individual requirement is described here. Okay. So in the step 1, we will check whether the P0 process can be executed or not. Okay. So as per need matrix, we can say that the P0 process will not execute now. Why not? Because the need matrix is greater than the available. Okay. So P0 process will not be able to execute. Next we will check whether P1 process can be executed or not. As you can see that the resources required for P1, A resource required 1, B resource required 2, C required 2, that is 1, 2, 2, and the available is 3, 3, 2. So P1 process can easily be executed. Okay. So we can say that P1 process can execute now. Okay. After executing, okay, after executing P1 process, it will release all its resources that was allocated to it. Okay. So it will release all the resources that was allocated to it. Okay. So the available matrix will be available matrix. Okay. So the new available matrix will be this is A, this is B, and this is C. Okay. So the new available matrix, this is not required at all. I'm deleting it. Column. So the new available matrix will be so at previous it was 332. Okay. So this 010 that was allocated, sorry, 200 that was allocated to P1, that will be added with this available. Okay. So it will be 5, B will be 3, and C will be 2. So this is our new available matrix. Okay. Next, go to step 2. Okay. So now we have to check whether P2 process will be able to execute or not. As you can see that this is the P2 600 and here it is 65632. Okay. So P2 process will not execute. Why it will not execute? Because the need is greater than available. Okay. Okay. So next we will check whether P3 will be available, will able to execute or not. So P3 is our need is 011. Okay. So P3 process can be executed. Okay. So P3 process will execute. Okay. So there will be new available matrix. So available matrix will be, I'm just copying it. So the now available matrix is what are the resources for P1? Sorry, P3, that is 211. So 211 will be added with this 532. 211. So okay, 211 means this is 7, 5 plus 2, 3 plus 1 is 4, and 2 plus 1 is 3. Okay. So this is our new available matrix. Okay. Okay. So now next step 3. Okay. So let's take P4. P4 requires 431. Okay, so the P4 process will execute now. P4 process will execute now. Okay, so there will be again a new available matrix. Okay, so the new available matrix is, so we can see that after executing P4, the available matrix is 745. Okay, so let's check P0 again. Okay, so P0 required 743. Okay, and the available is 745. Okay, so this is the available matrix. Okay, so now we'll check that whether P0 will able to execute or not. Okay, so we can see that. So after P4 will execute, our new available matrix is 745. Okay, so next we will check whether P0 will able to execute or not. Okay, so we will go to the step 4. Okay, so this is step 4. Okay, so as we can see that is our available is 745. Okay, and P0 requires 743. Okay, so P0 will execute now. Okay, so the available matrix will be, will add all the resources. Okay, that P0 hold that are 010. Okay, 010. So 7 5 5. These are the new available matrix. Next, only the remaining process is P2. So P2 requires 600. Okay. So next P2 process will execute. Okay. So P2 will execute. Okay. So P2 will execute now. Okay. So all the process are executed. Okay. What is the safe sequence? So at first we can say that this system is not in a deadlock situation. Why it is not in a deadlock situation? Because all the processes executed safely. Okay. And what is the safe sequence? So at first we'll check which process has been executed. Go to step 1. So P1 process first executed. After that P3, then P4. So P1, P3, P4. So P1, P1, then P3. Okay. Then P4. After that P0. Okay. And after that P2. Okay. So this is the safe sequence. Okay. So this is how we can, using Banker's algorithm, be able to do whether a system is in safe state or not, and we also found the safe sequence also, and also we will get the need matrix also. Okay, student. So students, this is all about Banker's algorithm. You will definitely get a problem from Banker's algorithm. Okay. If you have liked my video, you can subscribe my channel, or if you have any doubt, you can write on the comment section. You can visit www.facebook.com/digitalclassroom to like my page. Okay. So students, thank you for now. See you on the next tutorial.